What's up, party people? It's time for another bike review, and we're switching things up a little bit today. We're gonna test drive the brand new, just released Indian FTR 1200.
Excellent!
This is an Indian, made in the United States bike, but definitely not their traditional bike. As you can see, it almost looks Ducati-esque with its ladder bar type frame geometry. It's liquid cooled. You can see it's got a lot of premium features, show of forks. It's got an LED headlight, LED turn signals, and still some classic Indian looks, including the logo and kind of a retro tank paint job on there as well. We've got our exhaust. It does go 2 into 1 and then back out to 2. This is the R version, fully race ready, as they say. So we've got aftermarket exhaust, we've got upgraded brakes, and fully dialable, is that a word? Fully dialed in suspension, ready to rock. You can see also the back end's kind of cool what they're doing with this little mud guard, or maybe just to keep the rain from making your back wet. The tires are an interesting choice too. I'm not really sure about these. They're Dunlop DT3R, so it'll be interesting to see how these things work. They kind of have that flat tracker look to them. You know, we'll see what they are. We'll see how this thing goes. Are you ready?
No.
I am. So this bike is small, I will tell you that right now. The guy told me it's 450-ish pounds dry, stock 120 horsepower. Good weight ratio to power. You can see a fully digital dashboard. It's got a touchscreen, so that's kind of cool. Comes built in with Bluetooth connectivity, so you can, do your music and things like that. I'm not super keen on where the key switch is because I have big meat hooks and it's a little difficult to get in there, but whatever, that's not a big deal. And again, the cockpit is a little cramped. I'm a 6'4" mammal, so I do like a little bit bigger. All in all, the geometry is good, just the legs seem a little bit tight on the bike. All right, shall we try this bike and see if it lives up to all the media hype? Let's check it out. A little on the quiet side, but again, factory bike, factory quiet. We're at beautiful New Hampshire International Motor Speedway today. Unfortunately, we're not going to be going on the track, but it's got some nice kick up right off the bat. Wow. Nice torque right off the top. As far as flickability goes, medium. I gotta tell you, I feel like I need to sit back on the seat like this. I'm so crunched up into the front of the tank. I'm sure a shorter rider it would be fine, but this is pretty tight. It says the red line here is 9,000 RPMs too, which seems awful high. Once we get out of these, we'll give it a little bit and see what she feels like. I will say it does feel very nice, medium speed, medium throttle here in these corners. She seems like she's at home, if you will. Oh, come to daddy. Yeah, that's pretty good, pretty torque. Good torque band, power band, if you will, right off the get-go. This is a nice opening stretch to start the bike out with because it allows you to kind of feel the geometry. I am impressed though, 9,000 RPMs on the rev. That's impressive. I think with this bike they're trying to go after some of the younger riders. I'm gonna give this guy a salute. Yes, sir. We'll do a rolling start until we get straight, and then we'll rock it. Yeah, that's got some juice. This is not a dual sport, boys. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wow. All right, so initial impression on the throttle control. It's very nice. It has a nice broad power band, and it pulls all the way up to red line. Of course, right around 7,500 it seemed to top off just a little bit, but it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. Very smooth riding though. This is not a harsh suspension bike. I know the suspensions, we can dial it in a little bit, but very impressed with the fact that I'm not being launched off the seat. So 65 miles an hour, we're pulling 3,500 revs. That's nice, nice and cruise. It doesn't feel like the bike is really working too hard at the highway speed. So now we're gonna get into some twisties. Now this is where the accident just was. It's all cleared up, but the guy driving this bike took the corner a little too fast. You can see right there, and he crashed. He's okay. Okay, let's get up here. Yeah, it pulls hard right off the line, that's for sure. Very hard, pulls very hard. Handles pretty good as well. Again, demo bike, don't want to crash as others have, but it feels nice. It feels nice in the hand. And it's pretty quiet. So I would have to attempt to find those baffles and perform a bafflectomy. So there's some little bumps right here. Definitely doesn't seem to have any problems with it. Unfortunately, we're going to run into a little bit of a traffic jam here because this is a demo route. And you can see Grandpa's on his trike up there. Yesha. Yesha, Bob. I don't know. Should I pass? Should I not pass?
Yes!
We'll pass. Yeah. Wow. I could fall in love with this bike very easily. The power is nice for a Type R bike. You know, R being racing. This bike feels nice. It feels very nice. On the bumps, the suspension is not overly harsh. So again, you know, there's always quite a balance between harshness and handling. So okay, let's try the brakes again. These brakes, look at that. These brakes are phenomenal. Should have. You got pretty big dual disc in the front. Wow. So I gotta tell you, bike comparison. Power is right there. Being lightweight, it feels good. I mean, immediately you have that torque pull, which is to be expected. So that's nice. Maybe comparing it to my street triple that I had before, Triumph definitely has a nice feeling. Close to it, maybe slightly less power, but the torque is right there. And of course we know torque is what makes it fun. You know, you don't need to go 1,000 miles an hour when you're driving. You can easily enjoy the roads with something that has a lot of torque. Just like that. I do have to say the seating position for like the 10th time, I actually keep feeling myself sliding down, and the inner thigh bone area is pushing right on the seat cushion, so the pressure point's like right there. So that's a little tricky. I think on a long ride this bike would probably not feel very good, but scooting around, taking a quick ride here and there, I think this would be exceptional. The engine has a little bit of an interesting noise to it. If I lug it down, I know you're probably not going to hear it in the video, but if I lug the engine down, it does ping. It's got that pre-ignition. So I'm not sure if that's just the engine's normal noise or if it's because it wants high octane gas. I'm not really sure. But as soon as you get it revved up a little bit, no problem at all. There is rear sets on this bike, and there is a rear seat. I'm not sure that how this bike would do with a passenger. You'd have to be small because the bike frame itself is small. But yeah, nice bike. Nice handling. The bumpage is not too harsh. Flickability, as in how quickly you can flick the bike back and forth, I would give it a 6. Give it a 6. Absolutely a blast to ride though with the torque. I think that's the selling feature on this bike. And the brakes. Brakes are good. Here we go, watch. Look at that. Look at that. And we're back. We got a little single lane road here. It goes right back into the back door area. Howdy ho, neighbor. Howdy. Not bad at all. So for what Indian's trying to do with this bike, I think they're doing a pretty good job. The things I like about this, again, as we just talked about, the torque is amazing. Torque curve is amazing on this. Right off the line, up strong until about 7,000 seems to pull. And the red line's at 9, so I mean it leaves a lot to be desired. Here you go. See, I mean it's got some juice. You like the juice? And see, right down low, it's pulling right down low as well. Just wheelies. It wants to wheelie. I told him no wheelies. I told him no wheelies. So, initial impression. I need to go change my underwear. Hooray! This bike is awesome. Not only does it pull wonderful, it's got a very good feel to it, but the brakes bring the bike back down. As far as safety goes, this bike feels fantastic. The only drawbacks I would say, or improvements that I would make to this bike, of course I am 6'4", so it's difficult for a tall rider, but you're very limited on your seating position. So my tailbone is just right into the back of this, so it does make it a little cramped, a little bit pulled, but I mean this is a sport bike, so you know, cry me a river, right? Bike's torque, feeling, curve is excellent, and it pulls strong all the way through the RPM range. So if you're on the fence looking for this bike, I would say pull the trigger. This bike is fantastic. If you can find one. They're very, very hard to find right now. But 2019 Indian FTR 1200, on a score of 1 to 10, I would give this a solid 8. So remember, like, comment, subscribe, and party on, dudes.